Hello everyone and welcome to D&D News. I'm Greg Tito with you every week as always, talking about all the fun stuff that's going on in the Dungeons & Dragons universe as we get ready for Dice Camera action with Chris Perkins and the Waffle Crew to start at 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's in 29 minutes if you're counting at home. How's everybody doing? Hi, Red Spider. Howdy. How's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And yes, the music should scare the crap out of you because it's very loud. That one was a bit loud. I could hear it in the cans, as they say in the business. It was going very loud and very dramatic, so I'm glad that you noticed that too. What's up, Real Jape C and Lazy Cowboy? You guys are doing good, I hope. Are you ready for Dice Camera Action, episode 104 to begin? Me too, because it's going to be pretty cool. I'm sorry, 105. I knew it was 105. Because we have an awesome special guest star. Scott Kurtz is playing Binwin Bronzebottom in this episode of Dice Camera Action. I'm very excited about that. He's getting ready to call in right about now. So as we get ready to do that, we will go through some of the fun stuff that's happening in the D&D world. How does that sound? Yes? No? Maybe? Binwin! Yes! Zenark says, Binwin! Double axe to the back. That's right. I'm glad you're here for all the catchphrases. But you forgot the most important one, which is catchphrase. Did someone say it yet? No, you will soon. I know you will. Scott is indeed awesome. Death Knight 420. Also, I really like your name because that seems like that speaks to all the things I love, which is death, chivalry, and the Highway 420 in California. So, yes, let's talk about what's going on in the world. Unearthed Arcana came out yesterday. For those of you who don't know, Unearthed Arcana is hard to pronounce when you're doing a news show about Dungeons & Dragons, but it also is a playtest document where the D&D team comes out and lets you see what is cooking. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's something that they're specifically working on for a new book. And this one specifically is a few races of Ravnica that will be released in Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. So there's 4 you can check out there: the Loxodon, the Simic Hybrid, the Vidalcan, and the Viashino. These are all new races that are native to the plane or world of Ravnica, and we're really excited about incorporating more magic, lore, and IP within a tabletop role-playing game like Dungeons & Dragons. So we're testing it out. Go check it out now. It's available on the web. You will also be able to check it out on D&D Beyond next week, next Monday. And actually build with your character builder using these races. So that's pretty cool. I'm especially really interested in finding out more about the humanoid elephant race. I guess I've seen those in Magic cards in the past, but never realized that's what they were called, Loxodon, and now I want to play one. I want to be Babar. Is that so bad? So also we have Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron. That is out now in the Dungeon Masters Guild and on our partners at Curse at D&D Beyond. You can purchase that document. It is a 170 page plus investigation of Eberron in 5th edition, bringing it up to speed for what is the current rule set. Keith Baker, Satine Phoenix, Rudy Rutenberg, and Chris Lindsay, and a lot of the Adventurers League adepts, as well as Jeremy Crawford, all have their hands and tendrils, as Jeremy Crawford said in our Dragon Talk episode about this. In this document, it's got lots of great stuff. If you like a swashbuckling noir, high magic setting, different flavor than the Forgotten Realms for very sure, go check out the Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron in the Dungeon Masters Guild. And one thing that I'm really excited about is that now creators within the Dungeon Masters Guild can use Eberron as a setting for adventures, for monsters, for races, for all kinds of fun stuff. So I can't wait to see what the community does in response to this thing. It's already doing gangbusters out there, so I know a lot of people are enjoying it and taking a look. So I hope you do too. I didn't even notice that I've got like matching shirt and mug today. The colors are a little bit off, but pretty much the same. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Xenarch, it's high magic. It's basically as if low-level magic, like level 1, 2, 3, were ubiquitous and everybody can use them. So there's magic trains, there's basic healing magic is pretty prevalent all around. So it's pretty cool. And that's right, ampersand. I am ampersand coordinated. That's right, Lauren. Great. So some other fun stuff coming out is Adventures Outlined. It is a fantastic. Oh man, I can't see all the photos anymore when I do it that way. I really screwed up, you guys. So I gotta start closing some of these, I think, so that I can actually see what I think I saw it there for a second. Oh, there it is. Or whoa, that was one of them. This is, there you go, Adventures Outlined. Dun, da, da, da. This is a coloring book with new artwork created by Todd James, otherwise known as Reese in the graffiti world, I guess you could say. But I love this line art. It's been, we've done a few events with Todd James in the past, so we've actually had a few of the cutouts of his artwork all over the office in the past couple years here at Wizards. And it has this great iconic coloring to it, very a single hue for a single area type thing. And the coloring book looks just like this. This is like one of the open pages here with the artwork on one side and amazing small snippets of text that are very evocative, written by Adam Lee from the Dungeons & Dragons team. You should check it out. It's going to be, I think it's in game stores now. Some game stores have it in stock. Starting last Friday, actually, but it'll be available everywhere on August 21st, and I can't wait to take this home and color in some of this with my kids, and it's a great way to get some of that kind of iconic storytelling and feel to the Dungeons & Dragons universe. Not all the pages are quite as death and destruction as is depicted in this page, but it's out there and available for kids. Nothing that's untoward at all. Speaking of chitlins and how much they need to get into the D&D as soon as possible, Endless Quest. Anybody play the Endless Quest books or read them when you were a kid? They were basically choose your own adventure books set in the D&D universe. So I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, and here are 4 new ones that are coming out from our partners at Candlewick Press. They're all written by Matt Forbeck, who is a fantastic author and role player. I actually ended up playing around the table with him at GaryCon in 2010, 28, I think, maybe 2012. One of those 20s. He's a great guy, great author, and these books are a set that you can play in, and you get to pick a different character for each one of the ones you're doing. So if you wanted to be a rogue, perhaps, you might try To Catch a Thief. If you are more of a wizard or a cleric, you might try Big Trouble or Into the Jungle. Or if you just like, banging stuff with swords, spears, and other things, you might try the fighter in Escape the Underdark. These all come out very soon, September 4th. That's right around the corner. That's like Labor Day weekend. You'll be able to buy these then and hopefully read them with your friends, with your kids, all the above. I'm really excited about how they use Dungeons & Dragons lore and bring it up to the current standards of today. So good stuff there. We talked about Waterdeep Dragon Heist at the stream of Many Eyes. You might remember that. You remember that event? That stream of Many Eyes thing? No? Nobody does? Well, dang it. This book is coming out also very soon. It will be in game stores September 7th. That's right. That's like less than a month away. That's 3 weeks away from now. You'll be able to have this book in your hands, going to your friendly local game store on Friday, September 7th, and get this book. It's pretty awesome. I've actually been reading this in preparation for running this in my own campaign. So it's got a lot of great stuff in it. It all centers around the idea that there is a huge horde of gold dragons. So I wish I had the coin with me right now, but you can kind of see it in the book here. But gold dragons of Waterdeep, and all of the characters depicted on this cover. That's the Xanathar, Jarlaxle, the Castellaners, and the Clone of Manchun are all vying for it, and it's up to the dungeon master to decide which one of these villains is the one that you're contending with the most, and using the encounters that are described in the book in new and exciting ways. It's really cool. There's also like a big part of the book that just talks about what's happening in the city, some of the shops, some of the more important factions in there as well. It also brings back the factions that were introduced kind of at the launch of 2014 as being much more prevalent in the play. So if you're a member of the Emerald Enclave, there's certain quests that you can do as that, and you know, if you're a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, or the Lord's Alliance, you know, or even, you know, the Zentarum that's not affiliated with Manchun. Tons of stuff is in there, and I can't wait to start running it myself. It should be pretty fun, and I won't have to wait long because it'll be in game stores September 7th. It'll be everywhere on September 18th, so you can totally check that out. Going back to our theme of kids, though, is not the Endless Quest books. It is, no, not that either. It is, dun, dun, dun. Oh, dang it, not that. The 1, 2, 3s of D&D. So we are very excited about these books. They will be out on October 23rd. There's 2 books. There's the 1, 2, 3s of D&D and the ABCs of D&D. You know, for kids. It's I feel like I should be holding up a big circle for you, Zenark. God, now I want to have like a piece of paper that I like open up and it's the circle on it, and I say, you know, for kids. Little headsucker proxy humor for you there. But these are awesome. The artwork is super, just transports you into the world of imagination and D&D. There's rhyming couplets. It's a great, you know, read to your kids story. And that teaches them all about what's, you know, the 1, 2, 3s as well as the ABCs, as well as the Dungeons and Dragons lore. So it's super cute, and I can't wait for this to be in every parent's wish list going forward. At least if you're a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, you should think about getting this for all of your nieces, nephews, and potentially kids, and getting them into the fold, because there's a lot there. Terra Polaris, you're getting this for yourself. I like that. That is pretty cool. What age is it? Is this appropriate for? This is for kids of every age, really. I think, you know, having small children right now, and the books that they sometimes ask us to read are not awesome. So I'm excited to introduce this into our library so that they are indeed awesome books, but totally appropriate for any age. Cool. All right. What else should I tell you guys about? Did you know that we're coming up with a whole bunch of core rule books? I keep going back to this Endless Quest thing. Yeah, because we do have some core rule books out there. There they are. You can see them. They're right there. Dun, dun, dun. So most of you probably have some of, or if not all of these books, but now you can buy them in one distinct set. It has its own cardboard slipcover, as well as the Dungeon Master's screen depicted there. This might be great for someone who maybe just has a player's handbook, or you know, is always borrowing your books or something like that. You can get this and have them be in the family, and have everything that they could possibly need for reference. Or maybe, you know, a gaming group who doesn't have a set of books that is there for the library, so to speak, at where you guys play. So lots of great use cases for this. I think they look fantastic. We refreshed the art just a little bit. The slipcover is new. This is the Dungeon Master screen reincarnated there, but don't despair, because there is more gift sets to talk about. And that's this one, which is the alternate cover for these same products. All of these were designed by Hydro74. He created the alternate covers for Volo's Guide to Monsters, as well as Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and he put his special spin on these books. I think they look fantastic. I like how they are reimaginings of the main characters on each of the core rulebooks. So on the Player's Handbook, that's King Schnur, who's depicted on the cover. Xanathar there on the Monsters Manual, and you can't really see it in this image, but the purple Dungeon Master's Guide there is a Sararak, and I also just love the way this Dungeon Master screen looks with the ornate red dragon and the filigree all around it. It looks so cool. Yeah, I want to learn how to draw like Hydro 74 as well, Gaming Mage 2. Also, I want to know if Hydro 74 calls his children Hydro 75 and 76 and 77. I have not asked him that, but now I will, because those all seem like sequels, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and these are first printings, Akisha. That's right. This will be the first time you'll be able to get your hands on these. And just so you know, you'll be able to do that on October 30th. for the core set. Here, I'm trying to open up a link. Hold on a second, because I think there's a different. There it goes. Because there's a different release date for the core set. For the alternate cover. Yes, so the alternate cover that will be only available in game stores. You can only get it there. That's available on October 19th. So that's also just right around the corner. So check that out. But everybody else will be able to get the standard core rule set on October 30th. Just in time for Halloween, I guess. I don't know. All right, and then we have so many releases. I'm going to talk with them, maybe for about 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to move on to some of the other press, because there's so much to cover before Dice Camera Action starts in about 13 minutes, which is crazy. So, Waterdeep Dungeons and the Mad Mage. What do you guys want to know about that? Anything? Because I know a lot about it, but I'm not going to tell you. But it's really cool. I've seen some of the proofs on the tables in the D&D area. The chapters go up to describing each one of these levels. They all seem really iconic and interesting. What is happening in the Undercity below the city of Waterdeep. This is the perfect continuation of your storyline that you might start with Waterdeep Dragon Heist. You get up to about a level 5 by the end of that adventure. This adventure takes you from levels 6 all the way up to levels 20. The challenges within are crazy. They are just, there's so many different story elements within this book. I can't wait for this to come out, and it is going to be also pretty soon. November 2nd, this will be available in game stores with a wide release on November 13th, and around that time there will also be Dragon Heist dice that you can get, which I'll just show a quick visual of that because I know people were asking about it. Was I smart? No, I was not smart. I did not open it at a time. So one sec while I make sure that you can see it. Dun dun dun. That's what the back of the box looks like. You don't need that. Here, I want to show you this because this is the only time you can get a decent picture. These are mock-ups, so this is not exactly what they look like, but this hit point tracker is a set. It comes in with this set of dice. So there'll be 2 d20s. There, so you can see there's 2 d20s there. So you can roll with advantage or disadvantage pretty well. But this hit point tracker basically has 2 discs with the numerals 0 through 9 on them, and you can basically use it to track hit points is the most probably common use case, but you could use it to track any kind of numerical thing. If you have charges on a staff, or 10 days left before Manchun gets to control the vault in the Vault of Dragons and Dragon Heist, all kinds of fun stuff that you can do and show off to the crowd. So I'm excited about that little addition to the Dragon Heist dice set, and those will be available on November 13th this year. So check that out if you can. All right, so I wanted to get to some fun news. So we had our kickoff of Extra Life 2018 this year. In July, we called it the Founders and Legends Day. We raised more than $10,000 for Extra Life. What is Extra Life, you ask? Well, I have the answer for you. It is a charity that began, I guess, 5 to 10 years ago. And it started with people playing video games on one day, and they could do funny things. You could donate to them, and then all the proceeds would go towards the Children's Hospital Network, basically funding either care for children or research into children's stuff. So Dungeons & Dragons has been participating with it for the last 5 years. We've raised more than $500K since 2013. No, I'm sorry. It was only $380K since 2013 for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals, and we got a lot more out there. So I would encourage all of you, if you're interested, the game day is November 3rd. We'll definitely be playing live here in the office, but all of our streamers will be playing that week leading up to Gamehole Con, in which many of our signature folks like Mike Merles, Jeremy Crawford, as well as some others will be playing in the games all weekend long at Gamehole Con in Wisconsin. But that whole week before that, we can start raising money for the Dungeons & Dragons team for Extra Life. So the way you do that is pretty simple. You can head to the Extra Life page on the Dungeons & Dragons website. So go to dungeonsanddragons.com and then search Extra Life. You'll be able to find it if you don't see it in the general page there. But there's all instructions about how to join. There you go. Lauren has got it there in the chat. It's extralife.org/team/DND. Death Knight 420, you're in Wisconsin, so maybe you should come to Gamehole Con and see all that's going on there. But yeah, we want everybody to participate in it as much as you can across the country. Play D&D, raise money, ask for donations. There's easy ways that you can ask, if you want to have fans out there say what class or character you want to play in one of these games. Maybe that costs $50 donation, and then they get to choose something about your character. They can add items to your character sheet if your Dungeon Master is cool with that, or they can give monsters to the Dungeon Master to use in their game. There's tons of creative ways to raise money in the guise of playing a Dungeons and Dragons game, and I encourage all of you to jump into that if you can. Mike Merles did some awesome stuff last year where he designed a specific subclass for the donor who donated $2,500, and I'm happy to say he'll be doing that again in 2019. So that's pretty cool. We're 2018. This year is 2018, right? But then he'll put some of those up later on. And Mike is also thinking about doing some crafting custom Dungeon Master screen, as well as signing a book plate that you can add to a D&D book and add his signature to it. So lots of fun stuff at Mike Merles' page, but maybe take that as inspiration and add it into your. We want everyone in the D&D community to be participating in Extra Life this year, so it's a big push for us. Check it out if you can. Dragon Plus is an amazing app that you can download on your phone or on, actually I guess only on your phone, but I was going to say my phone just happens to be Android, but it could be on an iOS phone, it could be an Android phone, it could be on your tablet too. Actually, that's actually a great use case, is to use Dragon Plus on your tablet. But what is it, you say? Well, it is a app that we have bi-monthly issues, and they all are around a certain theme. This month's theme, you might be sensing this. It's about kids. It's all about children and how to get them into playing Dungeons & Dragons, as well as highlighting some of the material that's involving kids in Waterdeep Dragon Heist and all that too. So go ahead and download it. It will be out very soon, this issue. It's issue 21. We've been doing this for 21 issues. And if you want to check it out on the web, you can also do that. You don't have to necessarily download it to your phone. You can check it out at dragonmag.com. The Dice Camera action is going to be starting very soon, in just about 7 minutes. But I wanted to let everyone know you can listen to Dice Camera Action, all of the old episodes, on our podcast feed. It's called the Dice Camera Action podcast feed. We have all of them up there except for the crossover with Waffles Incorporated just recently, episode 100. We just had some delays on getting that sound, but that is happening very soon. So we'll have all of the things. It's a way to check back into old episodes of Dice Camera Action, because they're always referencing what's happened before, and I suggest you check it out. Tell it to your friends. Those of you who listen to Adventure Zone or audio-only podcasts, this is a great way to get into Dice Camera Action. So a great thing for that. Speaking of audio podcasts, we have a promotion coming out called Podcasts of Waterdeep. It'll be around when the Waterdeep Dragon Heist book is released, but you will be able to listen to that in anticipation. The Josh Peralt and Victoria Rogers from the Taking Initiative podcast, that's where Josh's is, and Victoria's the Broadswords. They've done a great job at combining so many people from so many different walks of life and parts of the D&D community into this 10-part ongoing story. Is the really best way to do it. So I can't wait to listen to it. I actually know a little bit of the the outline and the broad strokes, but I'm really excited to find out how it was executed. And all of that audio is currently being either recorded or edited right now, and it will be on the Dungeon Delve podcast feed in September. I think September 10th is when we're going to start that. So very cool. Looking forward to that. And I want to get to some other fun stuff that's coming, which is I feel like I can't get through Dice Camera Action without, not Dice Camera Action. I can't get through this episode of D&D News without talking about this. So Joe Manganiello, been a friend of the brand for a long time. He came to Stream of Annihilation last year. He was a big splash at the Stream of Many Eyes. He played in Jox Machina. He showed up with Death Saves, all this awesome apparel that he is coming out with, and he went on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert last week and knocked it out of the park. This might be one of the most D&D friendly interviews I've seen ever in the kind of mainstream coverage. These two are genuine fans. You could just tell that Joe and Stephen Colbert, talked as nerds do about the goings on of Dungeons and Dragons. It was clear Colbert was a fan, in his youth, maybe not a current fan of 5th edition, but it sounded like Joe got him up to speed on what makes D&D cool now. And I'm really hoping that Stephen Colbert follows through with the invitation that Joe gave him to play at his house in the Gary Gygax Memorial Dungeon that is below Joe Manganiello's house. When Stephen Colbert is out in LA for the Emmys, this might happen. And gosh, I would love to be a little fly on the wall when that is all happening. And you're totally right, Lauren. We should get him to come to the WotC offices. If you know any way we can make that happen, I mean, it seems like it's a bit of a stretch even getting Joe to get him to play D&D. But if that happens, we will definitely have him come to the offices here in Renton, and maybe I'll let you know, Lauren, when he's going to be here so you can give him a high five. And hopefully we can get him on Dragon Talk. That'd be really cool. It was amazing. So if you haven't seen this interview, go ahead and watch it if you can. It is available on YouTube, but also on CBS.com, and there were lots of other people writing about this. So there's tons of coverage, including the AV Club. Mentioned it here. Do I have a picture of that on the AV Club? I'm not sure. Yes, yeah. So the AV Club did this great thing, and it did this write up. The fact that Taran Killam from SNL plays Dungeons and Dragons, that Paul White, who has the most D&D name ever, by the way, that he's an actual white, otherwise known as the Big Show in wrestling, is all about this. So it's super cool, and it just is amazing. And another thing I wanted to highlight, thank you to Dennis Perkins for writing this article, but another thing I wanted to highlight is an article that went up in Ad Age. There it is. So Ad Age is an outlet that is really all about the advertising business, what that is in modern world. It's not necessarily Mad Men type style of stuff, but in that same vein. And this article by I. Shien Sherwood just kind of details what it's like in some of the creative advertising agencies that you might have seen depicted in shows like Mad Men or whatever, and they're playing D&D. I love this. It makes perfect sense. It's how do you get creative storytelling that has a point, that comes to exercise all the different disciplines that advertising and people have to go in. So thank you so much for writing this article, Ishan, and I'm excited for more people in the advertising agency and basically in all industries to start playing more Dungeons & Dragons. But one thing I definitely wanted to highlight was this photo of people playing Dungeons & Dragons in a conference room. I mean, this doesn't look too dissimilar from any other group that plays Dungeons & Dragons, and I love that they were playing Tomb of Annihilation as well. So kudos to Ad Age for running a story like this, and to the author for highlighting it, because it's everywhere, man. It is happening. All right, so we got 40 seconds before it is time for me to sign off. So I think that's about time. So you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Greg Tito. If you want to learn more about Dungeons and Dragons, you have a couple of options. You go to Dragon Plus. You could also go to dungeonsanddragons.com, or follow us on Twitter at wizards_DND. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on all those places. You can find out everything there. And I just want to give a shout out to my friends at Rivals of Waterdeep. You guys did an awesome show on Sunday. Carlos Luna did a great job as Dungeon Master, and it was great to be in Chicago and say hi to all those folks. So you're doing a great job there, as well as everyone who is playing Dungeons & Dragons, not hosted on our D&D stream. So thank you to all of you. You're contributing to making this an awesome hobby, and I'm going to stop talking and get right to it so Chris Perkins can take over. All right, everybody, enjoy Dice Camera Action with Scott Kurtz as a guest star and the Waffle Crew. You're awesome. I'll see you later.